They will input information that they'll lie. Hello and welcome to another video. Alright, today we are going to go over mistakes you should avoid while bulking. So this is while you're increasing your caloric intake to help build muscle, not while you're cutting. There are a couple of different mistakes. I'm going over 4 specifically. So stick around to the end of the video. Let's get into them, okay? All right. First big mistake people make is not calculating their TDEE. That is total daily energy expenditure. Total daily energy expenditure. So that's the amount of calories that you require in order to actually live. So that's everything that you do and how many calories that's going to take in order for you to do that on a daily basis. Now there's 2 things that people will do that really cause mistakes here. The first mistake that people will make on this is that they won't calculate their calories at all. They'll just go, I'm going to bulk, and so I'm just going to eat as many calories as I possibly can, and I'm not going to pay any attention to how many I expend or what my baseline is. The other thing people will do is they will go to like a link down in the description for doing your TDEE, free link down in the description, and they will input information that they'll lie. They'll lie to themselves and say that they do more exercise or do more physical work in a day than they actually do. And so they'll wind up with, let's say, 2,500 calories is what their TDEE is, and they want to bulk, so they go to 3,000 or 4,000 calories. But if they were honest with themselves, their TDEE would actually only be about, say, 2,000 calories. So they're far over what they actually need to be. All right, another mistake that people make is not tracking their calories accurately enough. When you're doing a bulk or when you're doing a cut, you have to track your calories and you have to calculate them accurately. In other words, you have to count everything that you do. A lot of people will calculate some of their meals or the main things, like a protein shake, things of that nature, but they won't calculate it like little snacks. Like a little bag of Lay's potato chips is 410 calories. That's a huge amount of calories if you're not counting it. If you just say, oh, I'm going to grab that as a snack because I'm hungry, but it's not one of the snacks that I've added into my calories, you have 2 of those a day, that's another 800 calories. That's enormous. So that's another mistake. That's mistake number 2, not accurately counting your calories. You got to use MyFitnessPal or another app like that where you can calculate every single calorie that goes into your mouth. That includes cream and sugar in your coffee, everything, because you want to do the bulk, but you don't want to exceed the number of calories that you want to consume on a daily basis. Which brings us to the next thing. One of the other things that people do is that they get too concerned about gaining weight. And so they are afraid to put on any weight. So they usually will limit themselves and then they won't bulk at all. So there's 2 ways that you can do bulking. See, that's 1 and 2. There's 2 ways that you can do bulking. You can either figure out what your TDE is, and then you can go anywhere from 300 to 600 calories above that. Usually should be about 500 calories. That is right about optimal. You go about 500 calories above that, and then you consume that many calories. That will ensure that you are actually putting on muscle mass. You have an adequate number of calories for your body to build muscle, but then you will also have the minimal amount of weight gain in the form of fat. So if you're bulking, you're obviously going to gain weight, but you don't want to gain a lot of fat. The other way of doing it is the old school way, which is you just go, I'm working out a lot, my TDE averages about 2,500 calories. So I'm going to eat like 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day. And that works. You will definitely go to the bathroom a lot, and you will definitely pack on weight, and you will build muscle. But you will also put on a lot of fat. So then you just have to cut afterwards. That's what old-time bodybuilders did. A lot of people still recommend that, still advocate that. And to be honest with you, if you're looking at the 2 ways of doing it, it's just a question of what you want. Do you want to go through the hassle of, do you want it to be a slow build? Because it will take longer to actually build muscle if you're going only about 500 above maintenance. And not put on a lot of weight and keep very accurate track of how many calories you're taking in a day. Or do you want to just bulk up as fast as possible, not care about how many calories you're putting in, as long as you know I am meeting my, well above my minimum. So I'm going to eat 3, 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day and just bulk as fast as possible, and I'll cut the fat out later. I'll just do a cut diet after this, and do this for 4, 5, 6 months, and then cut for a couple of months and knock all the fat off. Either way is a way that you can do it. Either way works. But neither way will work when you make the final mistake. And this is a mistake a lot of people make. And it's a mistake that I've made a lot of times in the past, not paying attention to what diet had to offer, because diet is the most important part of any kind of physical building activity. The main thing the biggest mistake that people make is they don't count enough calories from protein. They don't get enough calories from protein. So if you are doing a bulking diet, or even if you're doing a cutting diet, some of the science shows that you should be doing more than the number for bulking as far as grams of protein per day. For bulking or for maintaining, you should be at 0.6 to 0.9 grams of protein per pound of body fat. Okay. Another way to look at it is 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body fat, or of body weight, excuse me, not body fat, body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be getting upwards of 135 grams of protein per day in your calories, or 135 grams of protein. So then you're going to need to multiply that by 4 and figure out what the rest of your calories should come from. They should come mostly from carbohydrates, and then the last 20% or so should come from fats, and good healthy fats, fats in fish, fats on meat, olive oil, avocados, things of that nature. So there you have it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Make sure you are accurately counting your TDEE so that you know exactly what your baseline is. Make sure that you're not worrying about how much weight you're going to gain, because you are going to gain weight. Even if you are doing a very low amount of calories above your maintenance, you're still going to gain some fat. So don't worry about that. You can cut it later. Make sure that you are getting enough calories. Okay. You have to make sure that you're getting enough. If you don't keep track of everything, you won't get enough calories, or you'll get way too many. And then the last thing is make sure that you're getting enough protein. You absolutely have to have enough protein. That is what the body uses to build muscle. So that's where protein synthesis comes from, and you have to make sure that you are getting more than enough protein, or enough protein. And just on a side note, scientifically, they have not yet found a limit to the number of grams of protein that a person can consume in a day and have no ill effects. So they had some people do, there was a study where they had people doing like 300 to 500 grams of protein per day, or some ridiculous amount like that, and they had no ill effects beyond, when they equated calories, right? So they didn't gain a lot of weight, they didn't lose a lot of weight. Anyhow, those are your tips for what to do and mistakes not to make while you're bulking. You get out there, bulk up, get stronger, go get stronger. Also, last thing, there is a link down below for buy me a coffee. It's a way for you to support the channel. I would really appreciate it. Helps me keep putting out videos, and hopefully be able to get some new equipment and stuff in here and do some reviews on that. Have a great one, guys. Like, share, subscribe. See you later.